What's going on, guys? It's Mr. Jones. Welcome back. Welcome to second semester here at Woodlake High School. Hopefully, you guys had a restful winter break. I know I did. It was really, really good time with my family. It's always the best to get to hang out with my kids for 3 weeks and do stuff like that. So, hopefully, you guys had a really good time and you're ready to get back to work. On that note, there's a few things that we wanted to talk to you about before we actually get started with work to help you become successful. So, we made a video at the very first week of school that you guys watched about taking notes, but I wanted to kind of recap that and then add a few extra things. And you're also going to watch another video um, for this week's assignment. So, the first thing I do want to talk about is taking notes. So, as you guys know, we make videos for you guys to watch, and that video is your lesson. So, imagine that you're sitting in class, and I'm going to teach you something, and I'm going to write on the board, walk around, talk to you, ask questions, however that gets done. If you didn't pay attention to any of that, or if you were just completely absent, it would be hard to do the work. So there's a lot of students that I noticed last semester that even if they would come to me for help, they hadn't even watched my video yet. So you need to make sure that you're watching the lesson. Okay, that's step number one to being successful in the class. Is if we post a video, that's not optional. Okay, that video a lot of times gives answers for the problems that you're actually working on, goes over specific exact problems. And so you need to make sure that you're writing those things down, which leads me to the actual note taking process. Okay, taking notes is how you study for math. Okay, doing math is how you study for math. So if I do a problem, or Mr. Norman or whoever does a problem on a video, it's probably important, and we're explaining how to do the problem. And so you want to make sure that you take as detailed notes about that in your composition book as possible, because the more you have written down, the more of that you could use to help you on the next problems. Okay, also, whenever you have those notes in front of you and you do come ask for help, it's a lot easier to see what we're talking about because you have it written down on your paper. Okay, so number one slash number two, make sure you're watching the videos and then you're writing down every single thing that you can from those videos, especially if it's a concept that you seem to be struggling with. The reason last semester that we would have you take pictures of your notes, well, one of the reasons is because we wanted to see that you were actually taking them. That's how important they are. We're not looking to waste your guys' time, but we want to see that you guys are taking good notes, because the kids who take the best notes generally are the ones who do best in the class because they're spending the time. And most of the time, whenever you write it all out, you remember a lot of it and never even have to study it. So there's going to be very few things that you have to go back and actually check out. But also, you can use those notes on the test. So your notes are extremely important, especially in math. If you haven't noticed yet, since you're in high school, you've been taking math for a while, math builds on itself. So if you miss some stuff from last year or the year before, you got to eventually catch up and figure it out. Otherwise, you can't do the next stuff in math, right? So that's why your notes are even that much more important, because a lot of times you're going to go back and you're going to say, oh, dang, I remember we did something like that last semester. And so you're going to go back and you can check in your notes and say, here it is. You're going to refresh yourself and then you can move forward. With that being said, the next topic I want to talk about is communication. Communication with your teacher is the best way, one of the best ways, I should say, to be successful in class. So you don't come to class every day. I don't see you around campus. You don't have an opportunity to be like, hey, Mr. Jones, I've had this issue, or I'm not going to be in class, or whatever. So the only way to let me know and to make sure that you're not getting in trouble for attendance or whatever, they're falling behind, is that you have to let us know if you're going to be absent. You have to let us know if your computer's messing up. You have to just communicate things with us on a regular basis. And that goes for not just us math teachers, but that's for every class. If you communicate with your teacher, email's the best way. You all have Chromebooks, right? So if you email with your teacher, they're going to be way more likely to be lenient with you and help you out because you have started that communication. we don't know if you're struggling. We don't know what's going on in your house. Okay, we would like to help you, but we can't help you effectively if you don't communicate. So if you communicate, that's going to be a huge, huge thing for you this semester. And I really urge you to write down and have all your teachers' emails handy. Anytime there's a discrepancy with what you're supposed to be doing, you need to email your teacher and say, hey, this is what's going on. And I mean as early as possible, not the next day. Oh, hey, here's why I was absent to your class. Please change it. Now it's a bunch of drama. As soon as you can, you need to email your teacher and communicate with us. That also goes for if you're confused, right? So this is kind of going to help me segue to my final point, talking about office hours and tutorials. But if you're confused, guys, you have to come to us. We want to help you really bad. I want to sit with you on Zoom and help you. I would love that. Okay, but I don't know that you need help or even want help or even care if you don't communicate that you need help. Okay, it doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you dumb. Okay, it just makes you a student. Okay, everyone in this class is a student. And that's why you're here. If you already knew all this stuff, you wouldn't be in this class. So you don't have to feel silly whenever you ask for help. We want to help you. So whenever we set you guys loose to go watch videos, because it doesn't mean go take a nap, go get a snack, go call your friend, go play some video games, whatever you do, that's your time to go to school. And that's why a lot of kids are falling behind, is because they're not taking advantage that the teachers and everyone sitting there doing this work, and that's the best time to do the work. Okay, so during that time, that's whenever you say, hey, Mr. Jones, can you help me with this? This part of the video is confusing me, or this problem is confusing me. Some of you guys are doing that, and I know it helps you a lot. Okay, so you have to take the initiative, because I can't walk around the classroom and see what you're doing, see what you're struggling with. You have to verbally say, something's not right here. I'm not really sure what's going on. I need a little bit better explanation, and we can talk about it. I'm okay with jumping in breakout rooms with you guys, with jumping back in Zoom, doing whatever we need to do, especially during class time, to help you guys out. Because if you do it during class time, you won't have to come to office hours and tutorials, which is really the last point. So speaking of those, office hours and tutorials, office hours is actually during school time. So you don't even have to feel like you're coming to them after school like a nerd, right? It's actually during school. So before school, before first period starts, and after the last period ends, we have sessions of office hours, about 30 or 40 minutes each. Office hours is the same thing as tutorials. Not sure why they named it office hours. Maybe to make us sound like we're in college or something. But it's just the same as tutorials, where we're in there in the Zoom and we're waiting for you to show up. And once you show up, you say, hey, I need help with ABCD or whatever it is. And then we'll pull out our pad and we'll start doing some problems with you, and we'll ask you questions. And I can tell you one thing, 100% fact, that every student that I've seen come to office hours leaves feeling way better and happy that they came to office hours. We don't make you feel silly or dumb or anything like that. We're actually pumped that you're in there, and we're having a good time in there. And the math teachers are cracking jokes at each other and stuff, and we're just trying to make it as fun of an environment as we can. So check out those times. They're literally every single day, and we will be happy to help you, but you have to show up, guys. You have to just show up, see what it's all about. But don't make the excuse that you're lost and confused and that you don't get it unless you come and you try and get some help, because that's literally our job. Our job is to help you with those things so you can overcome those obstacles. Okay, the video that you either just watched or you're about to watch, not sure what order you watched them in, but I was going to talk about video games and learning as if it was a video game. Okay, I'm going to kind of extend that to YouTube really quick and make you think, how much time do you spend on YouTube? How much time do you spend on there? Or some sort of video like that, TikTok, but I think YouTube's the best example, because I spend a decent amount of time on YouTube. But what are you watching on YouTube, right? How much time do you spend on YouTube looking at silly things that aren't going to actually help you in life? if you do play a lot of video games, cool, but in 10 years, are you going to tell someone how good you were at Call of Duty? I don't think so, right? So make sure that you look at YouTube and say, YouTube can teach me anything I want to know in the whole world. I personally have done a lot of things I never thought I would ever be able to do in my life without being taught by anybody, just by going on YouTube and looking up tons of videos. I've taught myself to play guitar. I've taught myself to be a fisherman. I've taught myself how to fix things, build things, do electrical work, you name it, all off of YouTube. And there's 1,000 videos on there. That goes for every class. If you're reading a book, doing a math problem, doing history, even PE, or any concept you can think of, guys, if you type it in YouTube, there's people that do videos on that. You're already on there anyway, right? You'd be surprised how much actual beneficial things are on there and how much you can actually do if you do things that you're already enjoying, but then you make it count for your future. Okay? So you could also take notes on stuff you watch on YouTube, guys. Notes aren't just for school. We have you do it because it's a good way to remember stuff in life, so you can go back and reference it, right? But everything's on YouTube. So with that being said, I feel like my video is long enough, much longer than last time, but I just wanted to reach out and tell you guys we're excited to be back. I'm pumped to get back to it. I'm pumped to help you guys. I want you to come in with a new attitude, guys. I want you to come in and say, you know what? I'm going to do it this time. I'm going to ask for help. I'm going to email my teacher. I'm going to go on YouTube and type up, how do I find the y-intercept if I'm looking at a line? Oh, that didn't work. Well, how do I find the y-intercept and slope-intercept form, right? Just change the question. I'm going to get on YouTube. I'm going to watch some videos. You can speed those up too, guys. Okay, so make an effort. All right, tell yourself you're going to do it and work as hard as you can. Do whatever it takes because your future depends on it. Okay, do now what your future self is going to appreciate later, and the rest of your life will be so much better. All right, guys, I'll be talking to you a lot soon. I can't wait to see your faces in Zoom. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.